Any minute now. All right. Hi, I am Alex Mack. I'm so excited to be here. We are going to be discussing some pretty awesome stuff here on Call to Auction. Sorry, Action, the podcast. And here with me, I have Danny. Tell me, Danny, what's going on?
Not much. What's up, guys? It's Danny, aka Danny Phantom here. Uh,
Woo-hoo.
so, so we got the Mac and Phantom over here.
Oh my gosh,
Hoping for
speaking of which, Phantom, you just had a pretty awesome match. Care to say
Yeah, I don't
anything?
want to spoil it, but yeah, if you guys check out on the we had a music tournament.
Mhm.
Check that out. We did jukebox tournament, and we did a heads up competition. It's posted on there. So go ahead, I'll watch that and support those guys because yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see about including like a link in the box below. Absolutely. So other people can definitely check you out and see you in action.
Yeah, we don't want to. I don't want to give anything away, but I might have done okay. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Movies is my thing. Music is not, and I like that goes over my head. So for
And
sure,
that's why we're a movie podcast
that's very true.
about action, team action.
Exactly, for sure. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, we haven't had a big match discussion in a while, reaction in a while. So we had quite a bit of catching up to do. So right off the bat, about say last week we had the Smets versus Washington match. And it was the Intergeekdom match. And now going into this, Washington hasn't played in a while. He played against Emma and Fife like last year, and it did not go his way. Unfortunately, that actually resulted in Emma getting the what is it called when someone from your faction gets the runner-up thing? What is it called, Danny? Correct me there.
Oh, the contention.
Yes, it gets a one contender match, and as a result, it really triggered
the rivalry.
Yeah, not only the rivalry between the Misfits of Washington and Emma Fife's
Viper Squad. Viper Squad.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. That's right. Wow.
Yeah.
Brain fart. Oh yeah, the Viper Squad against the Five Club. Now, as you all know, Shirewolves still running strong as part of the team champion, and as a result, I really was started from that initial win by Fife. And so Washington was a little iffy on that. And, still today, Fife is still is a commissioner, so that's awesome. But that being said, let's just kind of jump into it. So did you have any initial reactions at all, watching this match?
Not really. I was sleepwalking. I was kind of sleepwalking, I knew that it was gonna be the smasher was gonna smash kind of the way through.
Well,
let's just talk. Let's just talk about I'm more wondering how Christian has been hyping this and calling him the next Ethan Irwin.
Yeah. Smasher needs more competition. Smasher needs to not go up against the little bitches. That's what he needs to do. I love and respect not only Washington so much, for everything that he's been involved with, but let's face it, he's not a competitor. He gets brain like me. He gets, he studies and everything, but he's not on the same level.
He's a great hype man. He's more of a hype man. He's like Dagnino. He's perfect for as well as his manager. But when it comes to competing, not really.
Exactly.
So do we really expect any other outcome, really?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, shit, Christian, what the fuck's going on? Smets is going up against, Smets actually won against Wanch. He KO'd him pretty fast. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the points he KO'd him with 17-11 or something along those lines really, really quickly. So, walking away is just like, well, we obviously need to step it up for Smets. He needs to not only be much more challenged as a competitor, but he's having so far, everyone's talking about how he's the next IG player. Next IG belt holder, and that's great and all, but he's only faced a few elementary competitors. Like, I just don't understand how people are like, yeah, he's totally gonna be the next Burl. Like, who the fuck are you talking about? That's not gonna happen so soon.
Yeah, to compare, I mean,
It's
like
so
when
weird.
Mara. See, the problem is like when Mara, they kind of gave that excuse to Mara in the beginning too, but then Mara proved herself when she started beating, when she had that match,
100%.
arguably one of the most amazing matches, when the sick match, when her and Rachel were going head to head, and then Kalinowski, and then eventually she got Inman. But like when you think of Smets, he's got that random newbie guy. He got Jay Washington, and he's got a washed up Hector Navarro who hasn't really given a fuck about any competition in like the past 2 seasons. So I mean, throw us something, give us even Rosie or something, or at least something that's like hilarious, or
Rosie?
Give us Jared. Give us Jared or something, or Donica. I wish.
Oh my gosh,
Give us Donica. Could you imagine Donica and Smets going out together?
Yes.
That'd be great.
If Donica was able to do this, I'd be so for it. I'd pay good money. Patreon, please listen up. I'd be paying money for that. Let's make it happen. But yeah, he annihilated Washington real fast. And, so he's going to go up against Navarro. And Navarro is, I don't want to say he's a has-been player, but, he just hasn't been as involved in the Schmodown overall. But not to take away from the fact that he is a former, IG belt holder, and that's fantastic. And he was very involved, only a few seasons ago. But again, he hasn't played in a long time. He hasn't been very involved, and he is up against a new group of players, player, so to speak, that is going into these matches with a completely different mindset on how to study, on how to train themselves, and how they strategize efficiently. So I think Navarro is a little in and over his head as far as what he's expecting from Smets. But do you have any general expectations on this match, other than Smets is gonna like breeze right through him?
Yeah, I think he's gonna continue smashing until, he's smashing all the competitors.
Smasher.
Yeah. So until like he's gonna Wreck-It Ralph his way to maybe some sort of like worthy, like people that are relevant, not people haven't been practicing for haven't been around. That's like saying like, so that's why I said maybe like Jared, because we never got Jared. He said that we were supposed to have a Jared competition, and
I know Jared and Chris was supposed to go up against each other a while ago, and that never happened, unfortunately. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's all good. I'm getting my matches. I'm getting my IG. I'm getting my singles. I'm getting my team. I am a happy camper. Now, Smets, unfortunately, we haven't seen Donica in a while. However, Smets, if Donica isn't available, and unfortunately Navarro, whatever it's going to be, I would really love him to go against Kalinowski. You saw that everyone saw the free-for-all. There was obviously butting heads. There was tension. Sparks were flying, and not in the romantic way, but
not in the smashing way. No.
No, definitely not. But yeah, there was some definite tension there, just kind of sizing each other up. Now, Smets, unfortunately, and Oyama, they kind of came and went real quickly during the free-for-all. But, they were definitely sizing each other up and tossing a few comments back and forth. So definitely a rivalry brewing there. Do you think that's something you would like to see, instead of Navarro, or do you feel like this needs to build?
Hell yeah. I wanted that. I want something like that because, like, he has Kaiser, like his little hype man, and so I just want him to kind of like broaden his ass. But he still says he's not a heel. So, but
not a heel, my ass.
Yeah.
That's what I say to
he
that.
Needs to
give him time. We can
come into the dark side.
Please, or we can send him with some pizza or something.
So yes, I would love the Kalinowski.
You probably get more fans as a heel as well. So just saying, Smets. Hey.
Heels. Everyone loves heels.
Oh my gosh. Look at Guy. Look at Bacon. I mean, they were most loved. They were most popular when they were heel. Guy still, he's uber popular. And Ben, I'm not saying he's unpopular, obviously, but he's definitely really popular because he started off as a member of Team Action and as a heel character.
Yeah, but even the beloved John Roca, when he started as a heel, that was like the OG. But then he became face, and nobody bought that. So then they're like, okay, let's just make him Roca again. So
I love and respect Roca to the death, but go fuck Roca. Okay.
Yeah.
No matter. I don't want to talk about him.
Old man.
Yeah, whatever. He can just go retire. Okay, so Free for All, obviously, not only like it was Smets, Smets and Kalinowski. That's actually one of my personal favorite moments from the Free for All. But also, there was so much happening. I mean, there was the Reg Alba entrance, which stole the entire event to me. Also one of my other favorite moments. I mean, Bibbs lasted until the very end, was knocked out by 1 point. Like, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. Draco, Brendan Meyer. I mean, as someone that only had one match, the kid, he only had one match. He lasted 12 rounds. I mean, crazy impressive.
Rachel did great.
Draco, Merle.
Brienne came back. We had Jen Kemp. We had Jen make her debut. Winston's entrance was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. Did you have a favorite entrance overall, Danny?
Well, I mean, besides Greg Alba, one of course. But I liked Janine's was good. I liked
solid.
Janine's. Yeah. I mean, Janine's time machine thing. Yes.
But it was amazing.
I mean, I guess JTE's moment was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, his teeth! I was like crying on the inside. I was like, oh. Oh, can we get a Kickstarter for fixing those teeth or something? But the hell is painful. Yeah. Not only that, I mean, like favorite entrance. My favorite entrance personally was Alba. I mean,
yes.
He's hilarious. He's great. I love the guy. Every time I see him on movie fights, he's just so awesome. He's so strategic. And I'm hoping we definitely get to see more of them on the Schmodown here pretty soon. Just to touch again on, some of the highlight individual players' performance. Obviously, Bibbs was amazing. Nothing more can be said about how fantastic and epic his performance was that night. And I was also just more impressed that he was standing the entire time in one place.
Yeah, 4 hours.
Yeah,
4 hours of standing. Yep.
I was like, I would just be stretching or getting something. I don't know. Plus, I did go to the bathroom. I have no idea. Yeah. But also another one that I was incredibly impressed with again was Brendan the Kid Meyer. I mean, I was just blown out of the water. Not only with the vast array of knowledge he had, but I mean, like for someone that just started playing, but also.
We only saw him against Oyama, so we didn't really get to size him up like how he could be in the Schmodown. And now he showed his spot. He's got a lot of knowledge, and he's like a likable character too. And we have because we were talking about like how heels are better. We love heels, and of course, obviously, that's why we're on this podcast. That's why we're playing this podcast is because we're a bunch of assholes. And so, well, I'm an asshole. You're an angel with devil wings.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Danny? I mean, come on, get your shit together.
I don't know, I'm drunk. But anyway.
Dang, no.
But what I'm saying is like I like the kid. And I think he's one of the few characters that I don't mind him being like this this nice little guy then, but he surprised me with what he knew, and he lasted pretty long. I guess who else was a surprise to you?
I was also surprised by Andraco's performance. I'm not gonna lie. I know he's been involved in Schmodown forever, and he's obviously impressively talented, and everyone is calling him the most impressive player that's never won a belt, and that's a little
insulting,
rude. But I mean, like, I understand. I'm like, yeah, he's never won a belt. True. He's always been so close, but never gone that far. And he's always been like, his rounds. He's always does impressive matches. As far as I can remember, he's never had a KO. I mean, no one ever KO'd him when they won against him. I mean, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, he consistently does it. Like his vast array of knowledge is crazy. But yeah, he lasted 19 rounds, and he's really coming off into the free for all after that weird match against Roca a few weeks ago. And I don't want to say it was like, I don't like saying some matches are more emotional than others. However, that one was clearly disheartening for him. It was, yeah. So I mean,
it
just
was
like
crushing for him.
Yeah, I mean, considering like his like, and I could totally understand where he's coming from, but Roca, I mean, I do feel like the way they handled the outcome was, I mean, they were right about it. You know, he did obviously know the answer. He was like, yeah, it's this. If it's like in this, if you ask the question like this,
like the Charlie Chaplin movie. Good,
yeah,
great picture and language.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it still sucks either way.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, I was really impressed with, you know, him just going up, you know, giving him a quick hug, nice handshake against Roca and be like, no hard feelings. But Reiko was just like, you know what, fuck that, I'm gonna nail this, and he did with impressive 19 rounds. So
yep,
that's crazy.
What about Snyder? Whatever. How did you feel about the return of JT?
I was really psyched about it. I mean, anytime I hear that shipping out to Boston theme, I am psyched. You know, that was one of my themes when I was in high school, playing sports and stuff. So I was really excited that anthem because that's my anthem coming up. But I mean, him coming back, you know, it like hurt my heart a little bit, just because, you know, it reminds me that it's like a physical reminder of on his face, just, you know, what was happening, you know, with that accident, unfortunately, last year, and why he was away for so long. But I do hope that means him coming back into the league right now he's going to come in full force. He's like, F this, I got this shit, right?
Right. And we have an upcoming match against Lonovan and JT, which you may or not watched yet, but we're not going to talk about that yet. But
JT in the bag. John Harris can go fuck himself. That's what he should do when he does his interview.
So
okay, so
who are you most disappointed with?
Was like, as far as most disappointed, okay. Most disappointed with, I didn't, aside from Meyer, I was very disappointed in any rookies in particular. Aside from Meyer, everyone's talking shit about how Smets is going to be the next belt holder. How Ayama has like he had one of the most impressive first matches ever, and like neither one of them lasted in a
round or two,
single round. And sure, they are going up against these fantastic players. I mean, these these fantastic players. I mean, Rocco was on there for a long time. Jeff Snyder was on there, I felt like forever and a day, you know, and everything. But not one of them lasted. I was just like,
that was a little bit hard to watch. And there's a lot of the fan kind of team, like, and Robert, Vanessa from Late to the Party.
Yeah.
You know, they got the goosey eggs.
Who
else? There were the movie guys individually.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going to be talking about them in a little bit. Their debut, but they made their debut on Free For All.
Well, seeing the movie guys individually. No, actually, now I think about it, I think we only saw one of them. What, did we see both, or was it just
one of them? Well, one of them didn't even make an entire round. Like he was there with Brienne, like really early in the round, and he didn't even make. Like Paul, I think the guy named Paul or whatever his name is. Not the one. I don't know if the one who looks like Christian.
Let's call him Loser 1 and Loser 2. How about
that? Yeah. LB1, LB2.
There you go. LB1, LB2. I love that. But it's knowing that they had a match coming up against Inky and the Brain. I was really curious to see, any particular questions that they definitely had strengths or anything along those lines. So I was really curious. I was trying to pay a little extra attention to them. Unfortunately, like you said, they didn't last long enough to get an accurate, study from them, essentially. But especially going into knowing how they performed during the free-for-all, I was really surprised then walking into the Inky and the Brain versus the Movie Guys match. And I was like, holy shit, where did this come from? This was a good match. This was a solid match. It was like both teams were in their early 20s. It was the early 20s. That was like 22, 23. Inky the Brain came together as a result from the Anarchy match Anarchy tournament from last year. And you're like, you know what? We got chemistry. We're gonna stick together. We got this shit. And so the Movie Guys had a lot of going for them with this one. Did you have any general expectations walking into this match, Danny?
Yes, I guess we're done with free for all, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna move on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
feel bad. I'm a little bored
now. So anyway, I was interested in seeing them because they actually did really good against the corruption too. They were like a big surprise. They almost pulled an upset against Chance and Kalinowski their first time up. They missed it by Anjay by 1,000. Like they put Anjay 2,000 instead of Anjay 3,000. Believe me, that's what I tell you about that. I was competing in music. That kind of things happens all the time. When I know the name of the artist and I'll just randomly say something. Like, oh God damn it, I know that. So I know how they feel. But so what we're talking about, Pinky and Inky and the Brain. I mean, they're a team that's I guess a lot of people don't talk about because they don't have like these heavyweight highlight. They don't have like teams that people names that you see a lot in singles or stuff like that. But the two of them work together so well and they complement each other. So anytime you go into seeing their play, it's going to be a pretty fun match, entertaining. And so and then the Movie Guys. I've never heard of them before at all, but anyone who calls themselves the Movie Guys and wants to go on a movie competition, I'm hoping that they're decent people. Yeah, or else change your fucking name.
You better do well.
Change your goddamn name. Don't call yourselves the Movie Guys.
Right.
If you don't know movies. So.
Oh my gosh, that is 100% true. I agree completely.
And did you think that one guy? He looks like Days of Future Past, Christian, old man Christian.
Old man Christian. Oh my gosh, that's true.
Old man Christian.
I won't be able to unsee it.
Yep. So I was I looked at him. I was like, oh man, I've seen. Maybe I saw Us, and now I'm just thinking that's the doppelganger of Christian.
That's Hubbard.
Yes. Oh, so
that movie. I like that movie. But yeah, I mean, Inky and the Brain. Actually, we're gonna have a little more heavier discussion about that, and actually in a different episode. James and I actually conducted an interview the other day with Inky and the Brain's Rachel Silvestri. She was fantastic. She let us interview with her the other day, and she answered 1,000,001 questions regarding her being involved in starting out as a fan in Anthem Schmodown, being involved in behind the scenes, and just being a fan in general. Really
cool. Yeah, we're gonna get to hear on the interview what a cool person she is. So Alex and her being good friends.
Yeah, but as far as expectations and everything as a team as well. Now that being again, Inky and the Brain in particular, though, I mean they now technically speaking, they now have the same score ranking as a lot of actually quote unquote very impressive teams like Bounding Fathers. So technically on the same level. The family. same level. And you wouldn't think so. I mean, considering, for example, Guy and McWeeny, considering how involved they've been in Schmoedown for as long as they have, and Drew McWeeny being a former, team champion, going up against these two baby players as a team, it just seems very weird. So
right.
Makes it that much more exciting for me to watch it, for sure. And as far as Inky the Brain, I'm sorry. I love you guys. I think you guys are entertaining, but let's be honest. You guys are gonna lose this. I'm sorry to say. And not to mention Guy might like kung fu your ass, during his entrance or something. Let's be honest. But yeah, so I mean, as far as it's again, as far as checking that other episode out, please do. It's going to be a hoot and a half. We'll actually include a link in it here below here pretty soon. Now, but watching this match in particular, though, something really was kind of brought to my attention that kind of bugged me a little bit. Devin, he got favorites. I mean, spinner's choice, and he spun Will Smith. Awesome. Obviously,
strength.
Right? However, he didn't actually do very well, and that's not unheard of. However, it kind of, I don't want to say it bugged me a little bit, but it kind of brought to my attention that maybe that when players are selecting a wheel slice, whether it be just to put on the wheel, or if they have spinner's choice, or they have whatever choice as well, that the questions could be asked in a weird way that they don't really that makes things a little fuzzy, so to speak. But because of that, you have to kind of reevaluate your strengths and weaknesses, essentially. And Rachel was mentioning they're going to be adding some new slices to the wheel here pretty soon. So do you, Danny, have any ideas of what slices you would like to see?
I want some Studio Ghibli. I want some.
That would never happen.
I know, but I can dream.
That would never happen.
I could dream. Nobody watches any foreign cinema, but I would love a foreign cinema.
That's such a hyper niche. It would be like pro-environmentalist, Japanese animated cinema.
French New Wave, because I'm a snob.
Yeah. Oh God! No.
Talking animal movies. There, bud. What's called Homeward Bound.
Pet movies happening, absolutely.
Paddington 2, just Paddington 2 series, because it's the two greatest movies, family movies.
Oh, so it would just be such a hyper niche, though.
I know, but you're just asking me what kind of wheel slices I like.
Okay, that's fair. So if I were to do it, I would love to see some more director focused ones. I think that would be nice. Or Wes Anderson.
I love Wes Anderson.
I don't like him as much as a person. I am iffy on his movies, but Dan, does he have a lot of them?
I love his movies, but it's the white of me talking, of course. I mean, that's a lot different story. But I love my Wes Anderson, the quirkiness. I love hearing the Kinks on all the soundtracks. Yeah.
I feel like Wes Anderson would be a really awesome slice that you can really get into. Or also, another one I would love to see is I don't think it happens very often. I would love to see disaster movies coming up a little bit more.
Yeah,
I know it comes up like once in a blue moon. So I would just
What about like I want more Festival Darlings.
Festival Darlings is so vague.
I like all that stuff. I like my little niche.
Oh God!
Maybe okay, fine. What about like
Ooh, it's so hard.
Do they have what's it called? Do they have like James Cameron? Is he on there?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
What
about Sylvester? Oh no, they do have Sly and Stallone. Never mind.
Yeah, I also would like to see some period films as well.
Period film, that was a good one. On the Free for All, they had
dramas.
They had period pieces or something. That was pretty good.
period pieces. I mean, it can do anything from, you know, Colette that happened recently to, or
Pride and Prejudice.
Call Me a Romantic, but I would love to see a Jane Austen, or based on based on the book kind of books.
Okay. Yeah, Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, so or Jane Austen movies, considering there's like hundreds of Jane Austen adapted movies. American movies. There's English movies, but American movies.
We could do like British film. British like.
But they have to be released in Hollywood though. Would they?
I don't know. Idris Elba?
Considering he's made like 10 American movies.
No, wait, like a Idris Elba slice. You can do that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like as far as like the new strengths, they're going to be adding a bunch of new slices and stuff, you know, overall. You know, it's you know, I'm sure a lot of new teams are going to be doing some re-evaluating their strengths and weaknesses over the next, you know, month or two, as you know, they get a little more creative as far as like making new questions and genres, you know, for this. Now, you know, when some players have favorite slices, sometimes they're just good at slices, but some players, when they have their favorite slices, they're great. They are amazing, unstoppable. Guy, for example, has rom-coms.
Janine has rom-coms.
Yeah, Janine has rom-coms. Roca has westerns and biopics. I mean, they're pretty fantastic.
Ben has
movie release dates. Absolutely. I mean, I hate the guy, he's a traitor, but you can't deny he is very unbeatable when it comes to movie release dates. You can't beat him and Man. Well,
the Queenie in the 80s.
Oh my gosh! Right.
He knows like the sound, like a song of like in the background, like the most obscure 80s movies. Like
I actually would like to see that.
Riley's sound and soundtracks.
No. I would love to see that involving sound and scores and soundtracks. Like they play like 30 seconds of a song, and they would be like, "What war movie was that from?" or whatever, maybe.
Yeah. Play The Doors. The Doors. This Is the End. From Apocalypse Now.
Exactly, for sure. I mean, then it can get a little iffy because, you know, that's also involved in a bunch of other movies as well. But okay, so regardless, now as we saw, you know, with Inky Rain's, you know, display of you know, getting Will Smith and realizing, hey, we're not as good at this slice as we thought we were, you know, and kind of reevaluating that slice. We also realized it kind of brought to light just how amazing some of these other players are with their own slices. Janine with her rom-coms, and when they came up, just kind of branching onto the next, you know, match, you know, Janine versus Stacey, that was a very hard match for me to watch. You know, as you know, member of Team Action, Janine is, you know, she's amazing. She's one of the first fan turned players, and being involved in behind the scenes, you know, as one of the designers for the merch on the show, you know, so we're like forever grateful for all our t-shirts and stuff. But yeah, I mean, they also used to be, you know, a team. I mean, not individually on a team. They used to be part of the same faction with Jay Washington. So it was very difficult for me to watch personally. Now, without going into specifics about who won or anything, Danny, what did you think watching this match going into this? Like, what did you expect? Did you expect fights? Did you expect announcements?
Yeah, I mean, I was torn because I was part of the Misfits page. I ran that with IX and I ran it. Also, our listener Andrew, our faithful Andrew, has comments and everything. We did the Misfits page, so you know, our heart was always with Stacy, Brianne, and you know, when Janine joined in. So you know, I love them both as competitors. So, it was like one of those where I don't want any of them to win. I mean, anyone to lose.
Exactly.
But but it was like, you know, it made sense because of the story. Because I guess, you know, Stacy had. Well, I mean, it made sense because, you know, the Viper Squad, I guess, is dead now, so there's really nothing for her to really do. So they kind of just needed her to move on to like some sort of story, I guess. So
it was very much like a struggle. I mean, I understand for the purpose of the story, absolutely, for sure, it made sense. It just sucked though. I mean, I love Janine not only as a person but as a player. When she works so hard, she studies so hard.
She studies her article that she just wrote.
Yeah, well, that was
heartwarming. That brought tear to my eyes. It's such a wonderful article.
And
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of like when I see her. Like I have such a big grin on my face because I'm like, I know her, Janine. I'm friends with her, and I'm so proud of where she is and where she started and everything like that.
Yeah, but just as far as
but then Stacy, you know, like Stacy and 6 Degrees, you know, watching the movie Therapy all the time, 6 Degrees. So I mean, I was like, love Stacy, love their entrances, you know, the fact that they've always put so much like they always were like put so much heart into like their, you know, the roles and stuff, just playing. So.
Well, there were like as far as like female players go, I mean, there wasn't that many female players at the time, you know, overall, and so they were like this like power girl group, you know, of players, whether it be part of it singles or teams or IG or whatever maybe. Now knowing like understanding like what not only in the article she's wrote and everything, just like understanding what the Schmoedown means to her, you know, it just. And knowing how talented she is, just you know, professionally and personally, knowing that's why it made it a little hard for me because I was just like going into this, I was like, I think Stacy has this, you know. Thing is, Stacy doesn't play very often. She plays maybe a few matches a year max. Janine, I feel, she plays much more consistently. That's her big thing throughout the year, and that's awesome. That's even just being available to do these matches are very necessary. Now, Stacey, you know, as a result, she's joined Corruption. This is her first match as part of Team Corruption. So it was like her debut. So as this heel character, as this like badass redhead, you know, with her and Grace, you know, part of the Redheads Club.
The Mean Girls Red Heart Club. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just like, yeah, Stacey has this in the bag. You know, she's at 4-3 at this point, and you know, Janine hasn't won one in I feel like in a minute. She hasn't won in a while, like at least 2 matches. She hasn't won. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Janine, but this is not going to work out. Now, regardless, walking in, Janine, based on that, she was the underdog. You know, now going into the first round, we realized that neither one of them is doing so hot. They both ended up having like maybe a 4, maybe a 5 in first round. And like a lot of the questions, I was very surprised that they were softball questions, I felt like. So I was very surprised that neither one of them was missing it. So maybe
the Gone Girl question.
Yeah. Like
that stood out to me.
Yeah, I was like, I personally did along, and I am a movie person, but I'm not very great with trivia personally. And I was like, I got a 5 out of the 8. So I was very surprised. But the first round, you know, neither one of them did too hot. Maybe it was because of the tension, maybe because of the lights. It's been a while since I played. Regardless, knowing that, they start second round with Janine hitting rom-coms again. Her first slice. It is her bread and butter. And
how fast did she get through that? How fast did she get through that round? Because that must have been a record.
I know it was like under like a minute and a half. It was bonkers. Yeah.
I wish Frank was here so he could tell me if that was a record, like the fastest second round. Because like she breezed through it. And and to be fair, some of those rom-coms they were pretty easy, but still, you know, just Janine's Janine's got that talent, like down to the T, like when it comes to like rom-com.
I honestly don't think they were. I don't think that they were like super hard. I mean, they weren't super easy questions. They're just easy if you're familiar with the genre.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you watch enough rom-coms, you would get it. But like a casual person, a casual viewer of rom-coms wouldn't get them. Yeah. But if you watch enough of those rom-com movies, they're in the more popular movies in that genre, so you would know, you know.
Speaking of rom-coms, when we started talking about rom-coms, my cat came up and wanted some rom-com love herself. Isn't that great, girl? Hi. Okay, stop turning around. But yeah, the moment we started talking, she started looping around my legs. She's like, rom-coms, tell me more. But yeah, they were kind of softball questions. They were also very popular ones. So I hope in the future that when they do hit that one, because it's become increasingly a favorite amongst a lot of the competitors, that they're going to go into a little more depth over just making them more niche, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, more Jennifer Lopez movies than just Dating in Manhattan.
Like, what was the name of the hotel that Jennifer Lopez worked at in New York City? I have no clue. Was it the Hilton? I don't know. Was it some embassy one? Who knows? The Ritz? Regardless, there's 1,000,001 hotels. But yeah, I'm hoping they're going to make it that one, and just because not only the speed, but also just popularity of that slice in general. Hopefully it's me a reevaluation of that. But you know, I was like, snaps, Janine, snaps. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Now, the second round for Stacey, she hit comedies. Now, she I believe she respun. And do you remember what her first spin was, Danny? Off the top of your head?
I know it was almost Opponent Shades. Was it? I don't know.
Well, regardless,
I can't remember. Someone in the comments will tell us.
Yeah, I'm just like, definitely, please don't tell us.
Andrew will tell us. Andrew, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know, absolutely. But she ended up spinning comedies on her second spin. And she was like pretty confident walking away from the wheel, which I was a little surprised. When it comes to generalized genres like that, whether it be comedies or dramas, you know, the more general it is, usually the easier and more popular the movies it references versus something specific like Nolan. It's like hyper focused. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so some of these were kind of generalized. You know, for example, like one of the questions was the Caddyshack question. Like they named like 6 characters or whatever it might be. What iconic
movie featured these characters
is this from, kind of thing. Yeah, and she didn't get like any of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So she was Dunzo's real fast, which is unfortunate. So, yeah, she got KO'd real quick. The match was not even.
And that's what happened to Stacey. That's happened to her quite a bit of times. So that's why it's really hard, you know, because she has these wins where she wins against Ellis and like those wins, but then she also goes against Rachel and gets like 4 points.
Yeah, she won against. I know she won against Ellis and Makuga. However, those were softball matches. They were really.
And it's Makuga.
And Ellis,
and Ellis and his decline, like where he just doesn't really, you know, he was just kind of done with his.
Yeah, he was just kind of he was just hopping in probably out of desperation because it didn't.
Hopping in his carrot suit. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they had to do what they had to do. But yeah, so Janine won real fast. And so going into the post interview, I was really hoping there was going to be an announcement of her teammate. Yeah. So I'm hoping that's
get that
soon, like crazy soon. Do you have any predictions, Danny, on who her future teammate is going to be?
I mean, everyone thinks it's going to be Zipper, but I don't want it to be Zipper. I mean, I guess it's fairly predictable, but it just doesn't make sense for me for Zipper because this whole time he's been talking about how he doesn't like Mike, like, you know, like even Heaven when he broke up with Winston. He was like staring down at like Kalinowski the whole time. So now for him to just join and become his teammate, it would just join his faction. It'd just be really weird, unless he's trying to like destroy them from the inside.
Well,
I don't know.
That I mean, since we are like, since that would be too predictable almost to include Zipper and that offhand comment where he's like, Grace was right, I am too, or whatever. That was like, that really was like making it super duper obvious. Now, who would you like to see?
I mean, personally, I would like JT, but
he wants to go back.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it could be anyone. Maybe Oyama. Maybe we can, like we were talking about Donica. Maybe we can pry him and get him on there.
Yeah, it's not.
Who else is free? I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of people that are free agents. Like, you know, would be demanded.
I'm looking at the list
that could fit heels.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. Some people we have that are solo dolo are.
Throw some names out. Maybe that can help me.
Yeah, so technically, with the weirdness going on, Lon Harris is technically a free agent. With everything. And I know it's like with the magic, but I mean, like, you know, it is you know, kind of
Cody.
still here. So on top of that, there is his brother, John Harris, should he lose against JTE, and JTE himself. He talks about how he does want to go back, you know, and still be a team with Lon Harris. But if it doesn't work out, you know,
there's a chance.
Yeah, you know, he was like, who knows? We'll see. Some other options we have are the younglings. We have Diamond Dave Del Rio. We have Paul. Yeah. And also, not to pull her out yet, but we also have Liz Shannon Miller, Lightning. That's our favorite name in the world.
Rosie. We have Rosie.
There's also Rosie, the Dark Knight. Yeah.
Right. What else we have?
That's
Mance. Scott Mance.
Mance, no.
Is he done? We're good.
No, he's not done. I don't think he's donesies. But however, oh wait, he's not even on. Wait, let me double check. Yeah, he's not on the list anymore of being in the singles division.
So I guess he's done. Okay.
I don't know if him being done. Maybe he's gonna be.
So who would you like to see, Alex?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned, I would like to see one of the Harrises join in. I think that would be like a weird, nice little collab. But I really want to see. I feel bad when I say this, but I really kind of want to see another female added to the corruption emo gang. So Liz Shannon Miller, you know, I feel like with the right training and the right leadership, I feel like she would be fine. I feel like she's very young in the league. However,
she didn't come across as a heel, you know. And if she's gonna be, if Stacy is supposed to be a heel, right? They don't want like Shannon, who's like this nice.
I think Stacy really wants to be more of the focus as part of the team. Whereas when she was like with Misfits and Viper Squad, there was a lot more focus on Brienne. Now she's like in corruption. I feel like she's definitely been like, I want more attention on me. I want more matches. You know, I want more leadership, and I think that she would be paired up with someone that. I don't think she would be she wants to be paired up with someone that would take any of that away from her.
So someone more, she wants to be more on the spotlight. So somebody who would be maybe like, and she can kind of like.
Yeah, and I feel like they're already in corruption. There's already so many heels. I mean, there's already Kalinowski. There's you know, with Nabzok and Donica, iffy on him and everything, and her
Grace.
And Grace, obviously. I feel like there's already so much corruption in that faction. And that's awesome. I'm psyched about it. But I feel like there's not as much people there to help balance it out. You know, like Guy and Drew, they're a great match together because they balance each other out. Drew is, a crazy asshole that yells "fuck you" every 10 seconds, and it's balanced out by this crazy, intimidating, really quiet, chill caveman person who's huge. So it works. Same with founding fathers, with Roka and Merle. That's why they work so well together. Merle's definitely a lot more quiet. He's a lot more reserved than Roka. Roka is more than welcome to take the mic away from him at any point, and Merle is usually pretty welcoming towards that.
Well, Keaton?
No, that would never happen.
She's done.
No,
I don't. I'm saying like maybe Rosie, really. But she's but I mean, do you think she's attention?
I don't know. It's not that. I just don't think she's good enough, to be honest.
Right.
She did win one match.
What about that girl from Superhero News?
No, she's not coming back. Sabina?
Yes, Sabina.
No, I don't.
And Sean, they're done. Are they over?
I guess I think so. She's not listed. But I don't feel like she's good enough, to be honest. I mean, she's fine, but like she hasn't literally come up once, like in discussion at all.
Right.
But I mean, things change. I mean, we still have like 8 months away. So
when do you think we're gonna get the announcement? Do you think we're gonna have to wait till? Are we gonna get it at the live event?
I'm so. I really am. I really am hoping that we're gonna get some information here this weekend at the live event. Oh my gosh! Can you believe it? Who's the boss? It's gonna go. It's gonna be there. I'm psyched. I'm so ready.
And you're going now, right?
Yes, I am gonna be there.
Nice. I'm psyched. And Dylan will be there too.
Yeah, him and I are. Yeah, we are going to be making plans to Uber together or something with his wife, and it's going to be a hoot and a half. And we have a little surprise for for anyone checking in. So get excited. Yeah.
And so we're going to have quite a bit of the podcast fam going to be there. So we have I have Melissa too is coming too. So.
Oh, fantastic.
So make sure you guys, if you guys are coming to the event this weekend, to say hello to Alex or Dylan or Melissa, say hi to one of us. We're okay in real life, I think. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know we're still very much an elementary little group here. However, if you are there, please give us a shout out. I would love to hang out. I would love to have a beer with any of you guys. It would be a hoot and a half. I just love chatting schmodown and all things and all ways. So I'll be more than happy to hang out though. I'm also going to be doing some one-on-ones with a few competitors, but that's still, I don't want to drop any names, but hoping some of these really follow through. So we'll see. But yeah, also, if you have any specific questions you want me to ask any individual players, whether it be Silvestrini, whether it be Janine or anything, please comment below so I can jot them down. And so I can say that these little questions are from you in particular. So I can give you those shout outs as well.
That's awesome.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so yeah, we covered, oh my gosh, so much today.
So before we sign out, do you want to do just a quick prediction? What you think? How you feel about the celebration? What you think is going to go down?
What I think is going to happen versus what I want it to happen is very different. I'm not going to lie.
Think of the 500 Days of Summer, the split screen, real expectations versus reality.
Right, exactly. What do I think is going to happen? Alex is going to decimate his competitors. What do I want to happen? I want his wife to pop in and blow us all away and win. His wife, what's her name? Molly Damon, I think.
Molly. Yep.
Yeah. Alex is very vocal about he actually knows less than Molly, his wife. They train together. She trains him specifically. He writes his questions, and Alex has had the belt for too long, and he has had little to no competition. And not to take anything away from him, he's obviously immensely talented. Every time he performs, I am just like blown away by how knowledgeable he is about not just movies in general, but especially about Star Wars, you know, the universe and specifically. But I really want to see another female champ belt holder. I want it so bad.
And it to be his wife. That'd be that'd be fun, even just.
I want it so bad.
The champ to stay in the family in a way.
Not only that, I want her to. Absolutely, I want her to win the belt, but I also want her to slowly turn out to be a heel and join the family.
Yes,
I would love that so much. We need a female heel so bad. We need a female member of IG, of Star Wars, and the family as part of Team Action. Let's make that happen. People, please make this happen.
Hashtag make Molly a heel.
Molly a heel. Let's do this.
Heels look good on you.
Mm-hmm. What?
I said the heels look good on.
Yes.
Heels are better.
If you're not comfortable about being heel, we'll make you comfortable. It's all good.
Right.
That's you.
Okay, so that's your that's what your expectation. So what's the reality? You think?
Again, Alex is gonna blow them all away. I'm sorry. He's just so good. So good.
500 days. 500 days of Who's the Boss versus the Snyder team.
Oh,
the kooky guy, the Odd Couples.
Oh, honestly, I think it's Who's the Boss.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. They've played more matches recently. They've been together for a good amount of time by now, and not to take anything away from Odd Couple. They're obviously a fantastic team. They work so well together. It's fantastic seeing them on the together at the same time, obviously. But they're just both. Their intensity is on different levels, or at least it looks like they're on different levels. Who's the Boss? Apparently, like Ben and Riley, they're very vocal about how they train with each other. They like at least once a day or every other day, they text each other nonstop for like half an hour, asking each other like crazy, weird questions regarding all genres, all movies, all the slices, to kind of keep each other on their toes. And that kind of dedication on such a regular basis is what really kind of brought them to where they are today and made them so close to winning against the Shire Wolves, last year. Now, Odd Couple, again, immensely talented, so great. Their intensity level is like here versus Who's Boss is like up here. Like it's just not the same. It's like apples and oranges. Yeah. What do you think, Danny?
My expectations in reality? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I think the match between who's the Odd Couple, I think it might be closer than we think it might be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I agree with you. I think Who's the Boss is gonna squeeze out, and I think we're gonna get the Shire Wolves Who's the Boss sequel.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna go to a bold prediction, and I think Christian's been teasing about the next location for a live event about August.
I'm hoping.
I think he's gonna do that. I think he's gonna announce maybe the New York one or another city. I think probably at the live event, and then I think he's gonna talk about. And then I think maybe we're gonna get one of those. We're gonna get what do they do in the summer? Is it the Spectacular?
Yes.
I think the Spectacular is gonna go live.
That would be pretty baller. Yeah.
I think that's going to be in August. I think that's going to be in here.
I am hoping some more Midwest cities. I know that aside from Chicago, I know that's probably never going to happen.
He's only talked about that, but they should get Florida, should get Toronto, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure. I feel like Atlanta will come up here pretty soon. I'm sure Atlanta will eventually.
Yeah.
here within the next year. Just because I know they have a very big Schmoedown community down there as well. Our
Philly,
I'm sorry.
I said maybe let's see, what else is a Midwest city? Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. We got Wichita. We got Denver, Colorado.
There you go, Colorado.
Yeah, we have St. Paul. We got Des Moines. We got places all over.
Cleveland is that Midwest?
It Indiana? Is. But I don't like Cleveland. Indianapolis. I'm sorry, people that live in Cleveland, but
I don't know.
Detroit. Yeah, Detroit's also in the Midwest as well. But
they're already going to be in Chicago, so they need to just branch out of those.
Yeah, Detroit's pretty close to Chicago, so.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so
that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that Spectacular is going to be a live event, and they're going to announce the next.
Solid.
That's what it's going to be.
Very good. And do you have any? Okay, what was your other predictions regarding the matches? Who do you feel like is going to win?
For Alex,
mm-hmm.
Alex probably, but I would like Molly because. But to be honest, I don't know who else besides Alex and Molly is competing. I don't know the other people.
Yeah, it hasn't been announced.
They don't really talk about the Star Wars, so I feel like the Star Wars is like an afterthought in a way. Even though they're going to Star Wars Celebration, which is kind of weird. But I don't know nothing about who's competing or what. I just know that Molly.
I would also love to see.
Grimshaw is he coming back? Whatever his name is.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like he did so well. But we shall see. I haven't heard anything. I do listen to his podcast, Obsessions, and it has not been mentioned at all.
Is Jenny Nicholson coming back?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Doubtful.
Probably not.
Yeah. So I'm like fingers crossed for Whitwer though. Oh my gosh! Or you know what? Even Freddie Prinze Jr. That'd be solid. That'd be really cool if he came back.
Bros. We need the Force Bros.
Let's do it. Heck, if it was a Freddie Prinze Jr., even if he wasn't a competitor, if he was just a announcer,
guest commentator, I think everyone go nuts if he just came out there. Yep.
That's so much. I don't really care about the Star Wars matches all that much, because there's only like 2 a year. But
Are you a Star Wars fan? Do you like Star Wars?
Not really. No, not really.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, like I really appreciate what they've done. I think they're fantastic and beautiful, and I love the mythology and everything behind them. But like Star Trek, I'm like,
yeah, and to have a league of its own, a Star Wars league.
It's just like
it's so overwhelmingly like we remember we were talking about how I like my niche movies.
Yeah,
like my Wes Andersons and my First Level Darlings.
Yeah,
that's how I feel like when I'm watching a Star Wars. Like I can't play along because I don't. They're just so deep. It's like who did the sound design in this movie, or who made this? Who made the costume?
What is the name of this planet mentioned in this throwaway line in this movie in this minutes? And I'm like,
yeah.
And a lot of it is like so specific to like it's like there's not going to be a planet named Paris or something, I mean, there's not going to be a city named Paris or like a planet or anything named Paris. So I mean, it's hard to not only relate to it. I mean, as someone that's not a fan, but I can appreciate, the level of knowledge you have to have, obviously, to play it. But if hypothetically, I know, I would also love to see other matches, like belt matches that are specific to like one genre as well. I think it would be really cool to see a Disney one.
Yeah,
I think that would be pretty solid. Yeah. You'll actually see on our other interview with Silvestri, she actually had a few ideas that really kind of perked my ears. That's something that she would also love to see. And ever since she was talking about it, I was like, I can't stop thinking about it. Not only that, just Disney, obviously, with everything going on, taking over Fox and opening up all these new Disneyland areas, or opening up not only the Star Wars area in Disney World, but
what's
also.
it called? What about I'm going backwards, but remember in the movie guys they had a Disney questions. Remember they had the Emperor's New Groove. They had do you want to see more Disney movies like just the Disney movies, or do you want Disney Studios like Swiss Family Robinson?
I mean,
20,000 Under League. Do you want that kind of Disney, or do you want Freaky Friday?
I want
Trap?
all of them. All of them.
Apple Dumpling Gang.
They would have to be under the Disney umbrella before their takeovers. Like, I don't want MCU or X-Men movies to be part of it, because I feel like that's like way too recent, and it wasn't under the Disney umbrella until like a day ago, essentially. But there can be like, if like on the wheel, there could be slices like Disney Renaissance. There could be another one that could be like Disney Classics, or it could be Disney songs, or whatever it may be.
Right.
And like Alan Menken did like how
most
many
of them?
Yeah. You know, or whatever it may be. You know, Jodie Benson voiced which Disney princess or whatever.
I know that one, Ariel. Woo! My favorite Disney princess.
Exactly. But you know, I mean, another one could be voice. It could be like dedicated specifically to voice actors. Another one could be specifically to
a live action one, live action Disney,
or Disney action, or it could be
the Herbie Love Bug, like the Love Bug, those kind of ones. Those
exactly. But it's, you know, I don't see like why not. I mean, not only like Star Wars, I think it's great. Again, it's just, as someone that's not a huge fan of Star Wars, that's not involved in that kind of community, it's hard for me to really care about it as much outside of Schmodown. And the thing is, I do know it is obviously people that love Star Wars. It is a massive community. You know, it's nothing to scoff at. Obviously, you know, it's just like I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a good example of like something that the Cody Hall and the Perry Jurassic Park.
That was such.
I could care less about Jurassic Park, but watching them play Jurassic Park, I love that. That was one of my favorite matches. One of my favorite Patreon matches was seeing the Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Even though like I haven't seen every single one of those movies, but I just loved watching that. So like if we get like a Disney one, or even like Lord of the Rings with Rachel and like I don't know whoever is big Lord of the Rings fan. But to get like a Patreon match or something like that, to see people who really are in their zone and really like have a love for those, like the horror ones, even the horror ones. Like I don't really watch a lot of horror, but when they did the horror one with Whitney and them, rest in peace to Schnapp. But that one was another good one too.
I would love to see one on famous franchises. I feel like those aren't touched on all that much. Like if you're talking about famous franchises, you can go into
Indiana Jones, James Bond.
Yeah, those. You can go into Transformers. You can go into the Alien franchise. And you have to remember that a lot of them are sequels. So you really have to know the sequels really well in general, not just the original ones. Heck, I mean, but you can argue like, you know, MCU and DC ones, obviously. I mean, you can't argue them. They are major franchises. So I feel like a lot of people could get into franchises like that, and could also get into Disney. Everyone recognizes those. I don't care who you are, where you're from. You know a lot of those titles.
Right. So everyone around the world knows Disney.
There's no real sense of isolation based on the subject lines, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I'm with you, Disney. Like that's universal. Like,
and video
all over the world know Disney.
We need one on video game movies. I was just reminded because of your hat.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yep.
So more about that glorious Mario movie.
Oh my gosh! And there's a Hello Kitty movie coming up.
What? There's a Hello Kitty movie?
Hello Kitty movie coming in hot.
Right.
What's happening?
Like a live one, or like one of those Angry Bird kind of ones, computer ones.
No, we still don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then we got a Sonic one.
The world is a crazy, crazy place. Honestly, I'm only excited for that because Jim Carrey's voicing the villain. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Mr. Robotnik. I don't care.
Behind that
yeah, I can't care. Really
and I'm like, it's like How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm like, I don't fucking care about this, but Jim Carrey, I'll see it. But
how about Ace Ventura movies?
The first one is solid. I actually, you know what, scratch that. You know, I like both of them. I really do. Another slice category I would like to see is an SNL. Is an SNL slice, like SNL member slice,
Night of the Roxbury, MacGruber.
Yeah, you could go into the Happy Gilmore Productions one.
Grandma's Boy.
Grandma's Boy, absolutely.
Jackass.
Fever Pitch.
Yeah. Save the Last Dance was in there.
Taxi Driver. Oh, the one with Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon. Rough.
I don't remember that one. Nope.
Rough.
Netflix? Is there going to do a Netflix one? You think?
Supermodel plays the villain. To give Queen Latifah, she plays like a detective, and Jimmy Fallon plays a taxi driver. She hijacks to get the villain.
No way. I've never heard that movie in my life. So
there's a good reason for that. That movie did a box office, and it's the worst movie ever. So no worries. But yeah, I feel like that is kind of largely forgotten as well. Or even like Kevin Smith has actually voiced interest in it, in the Schmodown as well on social media. So it would be really cool if we could actually have him involved as an announcer or commentator for Kevin Smith exhibition.
Right. I see that was like in free fall. I was going over praying that we could have got a Kevin Smith free fall cameo, but that never happens. But I'm still hoping. That eventually we'll get it. Yeah. That blue check. He got that blue check now on his Twitter now, so it's verified. So now it's a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. One day things might change.
So I guess we're getting close to the end, right?
Yes, we've been chatting for quite a long time, and I need to go to bed and I need to shower and do all that stuff for work tomorrow. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, tell me, Danny, that does wrap things up obviously on our end. Danny, where can we find you? What do you
right? So you guys can find me on Twitter at DKPKP. You can find me on Facebook, on the pages, Action Army, Instagram. You can find me on Danny_22. I'm not that active on there, but go ahead, stalk me, whatever.
Or not. I hope not stalk you.
Yeah, you don't really want to stalk me, but.
And are you working on anything right now, specifically?
Nope. I got a match. I got some matches that I'm gonna be maybe not be doing. Trying to get hopefully trying to get my podcast going, my own music podcast. That's Cost of Music. So it's going to be a music podcast. I've been trying to do that for some time. But don't really follow me. I'm not that exciting. I'm pretty boring. So follow our action industries. Follow Alex renovated Call to Action Twitter page. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm pretty much involved specifically on this for the social media for Twitter on the call to action. Please like, share, retweet, all of it. Tweet us, not tweet us, whatever. It doesn't matter. On the Call to Action podcast Twitter page, we'd greatly appreciate it, and we'll give you a little wave as well, obviously, because we love you guys. We really appreciate you. You can also find me on Instagram at Mac_Midori, and you can find a bunch of selfies and fun stuff there. But yeah, we are going to be uploading the Silvestri interview up ideally later this week, right before or during the live events. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we're definitely also have a few new commentaries coming up for the next big live matches, which is going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. Cannot wait. So definitely stay tuned. We got a bunch of amazing new stuff popping up. And again, please comment below if you want any particular specific questions you have that you want me to ask any of the individual competitors. Just that, or you can tweet me what you would like me to ask specifically, and I'll ask them, and I'll mention that you were the one to ask them. So just got a little personal there. But yeah, that's all we have on
follow Ben Bateman at Ben Bateman Media, Andrew Guy. Follow
Ben
Action Industries. Follow watch the Action Guys on the podcast. I don't know. What do you know? What about Action Movie Anatomy? You know, it's
Action Movie Anatomy. The Action Guys, our podcast is available everywhere. Essentially, it's on Spotify, Stitcher, as well as iTunes. And also,
I don't know what they're doing this week. So,
sorry?
You know what they're doing? I don't know what they're doing this week, but check them out. Their Action Movie Anatomy. I know they just did the Scott Pilgrim one of my favorite movies.
So good.
I'm in lesbian with that movie. So.
I got to pee on her. So good. Oh my gosh, and that music is so fantastic. All right, awesome. And we are gonna sign off. We salute. We'll talk to you guys soon, and au revoir. Bye.
Bye.